Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Dr. Nasir Shaikh Show. I'm your guest host for today. My name is Dr. Nasir, and what we've got on tap for you today is another one of our favorite senators. This time it's Marsha Blackburn of Tennessee, and she's asking our inept, incompetent Attorney General Merrick Garland, why are there two tiers of justice? Why does it seem, or why is it that the DOJ and the FBI don't go after liberals and elites who commit bombings and murders and all kinds of stuff, but they do go after conservatives and middle America, go to their homes in the middle of the morning with SWAT teams and FBI teams, 30, 40 agents, all decked out in machine guns and also in the SWAT paraphernalia, and arrest everyday Americans for no good reason. We're going to watch the results of that video. But before we do that, we just want to ask you, if you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, like, share, and follow us. Comment below. Let us know what you think. Let's get to that video right now.
Mr. Attorney General, thank you for your time today. Listening to the questions and the answers and your responses, what is coming clear to me as I listen to this is basically in your DOJ, the Biden DOJ, there are two tiers of justice. There are one for people with conservative values, for parents, for people of faith, and then there is another tier of justice that applies to the Washington liberal elites, political elites. And what I want to do is dig down a little bit on how you and the department have applied this discretionary form of justice. It's something that concerns Tennesseans, and when I'm across the state, we have 95 counties. I visit each of them every year. And Mr. Attorney General, that comes up quite a bit. Much of it has come up in relation to the Dobbs decision. And the attacks and the violence there has increased from groups on the far left. It has not increased from pro-life groups. And since the Dobbs...
And you will hear, folks, you will hear what Marsha Blackburn said. You will hear that turned around in talking points on all the cable news networks, all the alphabet networks, through academic, the academic institutions, where they say, oh, there's just as much violence on the far right as there is on the far left, as if that makes a difference anyways. But that's just not true.
Dobbs leak, there have been 70 pro-life pregnancy centers that were targeted. Only 2 of these activists have been indicted. There are 25 individuals that have been indicted under the FACE Act in just 5 months. So you see the disparity there. I appreciate you said that most of these attacks are carried out at night and that the protests take place during the day. So you say it's easier to identify and go after people that are carrying out a peaceful protest during the day rather than a firebombing at night. Is that correct?
Yeah, if I could just say, I wish you would assure your constituents in all the counties that the Justice Department does not treat people in the way that is described.
Well,
that's bullshit.
We treat like cases alike. We do not have one view.
Okay, then let's talk about a specific case in Tennessee, the Hope Clinic. Are you familiar with that?
I'm not familiar with it
Okay, the Hope
specifically.
Clinic for Women is a pregnancy resource center in Nashville. And currently, you have gone out of your way to prosecute 11 individuals in Tennessee under the FACE Act. And are you aware that this clinic was the subject of an attempted firebombing with a Molotov cocktail?
So we are very concerned about these kind of firebombings, and I agree with you. They're happening around the United States. The FBI has put its resources into this. We are investigating it in every way. We've offered.
You have not put the investigative resources in there. You've taken those resources and you've basically told them that their marching orders are to go after conservatives, to go after middle America, go after Catholics, go after Christians, go after Jews, go after Muslims. That's who you've told the DOJ and the FBI to go to. You just went at that Catholic minister's home out in Pennsylvania, I believe, in the middle of right in the early hours of the morning, and literally terrorized and attacked a family for no apparent reason other than the fact that you just said that he was a domestic terrorist without any reason whatsoever.
Rewards for anyone who has information.
Let's talk about how these groups get classified. When we talked about the way parents of children were treated, and because they were concerned over what was being taught in school, Senator Kennedy just went through that with you. You applied domestic terrorism as a term in couching that activity. Now, under federal law, which you have cited, this is how you term domestic terrorism, and I'm quoting, activities that involve acts dangerous to human life that are a violation of the criminal laws of the United States or of any state. So under that definition, would you agree that firebombing a crisis pregnancy center constitutes an act of domestic terrorism?
I would say yes, but I want to again disagree with your earlier characterizations. There was no memorandum about parents complaining to their school boards, and there was
talking about firebombing pregnancy
I understand, and there was no reference in that memo to using domestic terrorism.
Firebombing,
where it said yes, firebombing where
domestic terrorism.
It's at least domestic violent extremism.
Okay, so then let's talk about the far left group Jane's Revenge, because they claimed responsibility for that. They went so far as to spray paint their name on the wall. So do you intend to prosecute them?
We intend, if we find them, to do that. There is
so you can't find them.
If you have information about those groups, we would be happy to.
That is your job.
That's right, and we are putting heavy resources into this. We have found a group that
What an unbelievable, intercoursing, stupid, idiotic, moronic, retard, old, blithering, dittering fool. He fits the acronym SIMR to an absolute freaking T. SIMR, stupid, idiotic, moronic, retarded. Asking a senator, do you happen to know where Jane's Revenge is? I mean, could you help a brother out? Could you help a brother out here? Help me. What a stupid moron. What an ass.
They're a domestic terrorist organization.
I would say it depends on the people
who took credit for this, spray painted their name on the wall. Let me ask you a couple of questions before my time runs out. We've talked a little bit today about the targeting at the justices' homes. Have you released any type of memorandum that explicitly condemns the acts of intimidation outside of the Supreme Court justices' homes?
I have directly instructed the Marshal Service to send over 70 United States Marshals to prevent acts of violence and threats of violence outside those.
Memo.
I don't need to do a memo because I spoke directly to the marshals about this topic.
All right. Have you watched any of the footage of the protesters outside the justices' homes?
Unless I caught it on the news, I haven't specifically watched it.
Are you investigating any of those individuals? You said, you investigate protesters because they do their activity in the light of day. And most of the firebombings and things take place at night, but I would think the FBI knows how to investigate crimes.
As I explained, our principal responsibility here is to protect the lives of the justices. We've put
But you haven't watched any of that footage.
The United States Marshals are on scene, watching what happens on scene.
Any of those individuals that were protesting at the justices' homes were there for any reason other than to try to intimidate the justices.
The Marshals' job is to protect the lives of the justices, and they will arrest people who they think are threatening the lives of the justices. That's their job.
Thank you, Mr. Attorney General. I have to say, people in Tennessee talk a lot about their frustration. They want to trust the DOJ. They want to be able to trust their government. They are very concerned about what appears to be, by actions, 2 tiers of justice. And this is something that they do not see as equal treatment.
Absolutely. Marsha Blackburn hits it right on the head. And not only that, but every single time that we hear this old blithering, dithering fool of an attorney general, Merrick Garland, he just makes everybody want to just, pull your freaking hair out. Because he's exactly what she's saying. It's not that it's a perception. There actually is differences in the way the DOJ and the FBI handle these cases. Classic example. Let me just further, talk about this just a little bit. He mentioned that it's when conservatives or Republicans, if they go protest, they do it peacefully and they do it in the light of day. They go out there, they stand in front of a building, they have a couple of signs out there, they don't impede anybody or whatever. They just minding their own business, but they're protesting what they're allowed to do. Assembly. It's in the Constitution. It's in the Bill of Rights. They do that. But now with this FACE Act, anybody can basically say, you know what? They were doing something illegal. Round them up. Indict them. They did something. It's a felony. It's a whatever that is. And now you got to go to a court of law and defend yourself. But when you go there and you're doing the exact same thing on the left, and you're protesting someone's home, a justice's home or a member of Congress's home or whatever, and implicitly the law also states that you can't be doing that. It is a felony, it is a misdemeanor, it is a crime to do that. But then, you just watch them now. No arrests, nobody goes to jail, nothing like that. What else are you going to think, folks? It's not that perception is reality. It's that reality is absolutely reality. And people can tell the difference. And if this jackass doesn't understand that, it's not that he doesn't understand that. This is on purpose from the Biden administration. This is an all-out assault on conservatives and Republicans all over the United States. And they're using the DOJ and the FBI. They're weaponizing both these institutions to go against everyday, ordinary, average American citizens who are doing absolutely nothing wrong. They are following the law, but they are still being under assault by this DOJ and this FBI using Gestapo-like tactics of the Hitlerite regime. Anyways, folks, we appreciate you taking the time to watch. You've been watching the Dr. Nasir Shaikh Show. I've been your guest host. My name is Dr. Nasir. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, like, share, and follow us. Let us know in the comments below what you think. I'll leave you with my final thought, which is, when you're right, you're right, and when you're left, you're wrong. We'll see you again next time, folks. Take care and stay safe.